Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we all doing? It is edging closer. It's edging closer, and I am so desperate for some Premier League football. Absolutely refreshing last night to watch some actual football. Champions League. I really enjoyed the show we did last night. For any of you that don't watch the shows that aren't Spurs, we tend to have much more fun because everyone's not rowing. So last night we did, what was it? The Bayern Munich away at Real Madrid. Great game. Really enjoyed it. All the live scores coming in. And tonight we've got two games. I may have a guest who will be doing one game. If not, I'll do both games. It will be Barcelona at home to Atletico Madrid, and also PSG at home to Liverpool. Two cracking games tonight. I've already got my ACCA in, so I'm not going to tell you what it is until tonight. But two cracking games tonight. And also, I think it's Braga versus Celta Vigo in the Europa League as well. So we have got European football tonight. Join me at 7:45 for that one. In the world of Spurs, well, Tom Barkley last night said, didn't he, that he's hearing noise that an option for Spurs, sorry, my hay fever is killing me, an option for Spurs is James Trafford of Manchester City. So we're going to talk about that this morning. An interesting character because it's somebody who's not a number one. So it's very difficult. We haven't seen loads and loads, but we'll talk about it. He's gone on to reiterate that this morning. Sorry, but it's Braga versus Betis. Sorry. Somebody already has corrected me. It's Braga v Betis, not Celta Vigo. I always get Celta and Betis mixed up. Don't know why. So look, we'll talk about that in a little bit. James Trafford. And also this morning, Spurs have announced their new coaching team. Now, listen, I'll be honest, my man Ash sent it to me this morning and I responded to him and my response was meh. Show me the signings and rip up this squad. And I just feel like we're forever speaking about new coaches, new backroom staff, training videos. Like show me with players. Like players are what win you games. Ultimately, we can talk about managers all day long, but players win you games of football. Show me the signings. Go and bring in some footballers of note that Spurs fans want to see. But hey, that's just me. So we'll talk about that in a minute as well. And then in the world of football, it's all going crazy, isn't it? It's all going crazy. I saw some outlandish takes after the Bayern Madrid game. I saw these tacticos on X. Somebody was telling me why, I wasn't on X, but somebody was saying why Kimmich is a good player, but he can't run anymore and wouldn't suit the Premier League. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, stop. When did football fans really start overthinking this? You know, how Josh Kimmich walks into most teams in world football, the world's gone mad. The world's gone mad. Everybody is a tactical expert. Everybody is a coach. Everybody knows how this team plays and how that team plays. Everybody looks at data to the nth degree, don't they? It's just painful. Can we go back to what football used to be? Did so-and-so have a good game? Yeah or no? Not, well, if you actually look at the number of recoveries and the ground duels and if you look at the number of duels in the air and then, oh my God, good gosh. Anyway. Also, listen, it cracks me up, man. When I see that everything is too much. And my mate said to me yesterday, he said, do you know what? He said, what I don't mind about X. He said, I wouldn't mind it if people went, I'm on X, I'm going to post today. I'll post one post about football. He said, some of these people have to post hourly. Like hourly. Hourly. Like they've got to have on every player across the world, on every situation, it's just way too much, isn't it? Anyway, it is what it is. So, welcome. Smash the like button. Let's start as we mean to go on. Let's do the admin, shall we? Match bingo. Use the code FHTV. Match bingo. It's good fun. It's just a little, it's slightly different to your usual betting. You can have different bets on different games. It's very different, but it's good fun. Some people win some nice little amounts on there. So get over to Match Bingo. That's code FHTV. And then OK Jersey, code Savva. As I said, all of the World Cup tops are now available. Get them in ready for the World Cup. They are £15 each and 8% off. So they're only £15, but you get further 8% off by using the code Savva. Football shirts for the World Cup, for the Champions League, for the league, for whatever it may be. Get over there and check that out. Where to start this morning? Let's say hello to a few people, shall we? I can't say hello to everyone. We'll be here all day. We'll be here all day. And we won't be going forever today. We'll do about an hour and a half. And then this evening at 7:45, we'll do the Champions League game. So that'll be good. Big up to Kitty. Hope you're well. Tony Rodriguez inside the house. Pro WWE. Mark Taylor's here. Mark Simru. Mark, I don't know, I never know your surname. Mark, I think Simru is a Welsh word. I don't know. Correct me. What's going on, Mark? Big up to Marianne. How you doing, Marianne? Hope you are well. Where are we? AW Relaxer. Big up Savva and Tony. Big up to you, AW. I hope you are well. Big up to Tom Kingham, Clay Tinsley inside the house. Big up to Red XN. How you doing, sir? Hope you're well. Look at this. I didn't post that, but okay, the chatbot's done it for me. So okay, thank you. If anyone wants to buy me a coffee, the old chatbot there. Corey Mania said, hi, Savva. Hello. How we doing? Hello. Tony is saying, didn't he reject Spurs last season? We'll talk about it. We'll get into it if we're talking about James Trafford. Logan, good morning to you. Philly, 1975. I'm guessing that's the year you were born. Nicola, I believe it is. How you doing? Hope you're well. The Stream Element spot is in here, looking after things. Welcome to the Stream Element spot, Mr. M. Marianne, yeah, I love the watch along I love those watch alongs when they're not Spurs. They're so relaxed, aren't they? Because everybody's not going at each other. Big up to Mr. M, to Rawibara. Apologies if I've butchered your name. Soraya is in the chat. Clay Tinsley, Kitty, Atavatron Wembley, Mark New is in the house, Rinketic. There's loads of people. It's only a game. I said, here we go again with players that won't sign. Well, we haven't even talked about it yet. I mean, we haven't even talked about it yet. Just relax. Hang on. I think people need to. I haven't said he is. There's a question mark. I just said Trafford to replace Vicario, question mark. That's it. I'm not claiming he is. I'm just going with some news that's come out. Big up to Alan Shepherd. How you doing? Hope you're doing well, my man. Big up to Dylan. Gary Cousins is inside the house. Jamie. Yeah. Simru is Welsh for right. Okay. So Mark Wales. Right. Okay. Honestly, my hay fever has knocked me for 6. I feel hungover. I'm not. I didn't drink yesterday. I feel hungover, but the hay fever just kills me. It just knocks me out. I'd rather have flu than hay fever. Big up to Andy Lester. How you doing? Big up to a user. Big up to AJR. Big up to Mr. M. Loads of people in the chat. Hope you are well. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look. Before we do, we've got a super chat. Oh, maybe we're going to have a big super sticker train today. Big up to Andy Lester. Very generous, my man. Channel member as well. Said, happy annual bonus day, Savva. Guessing it is for you. Big up to you, my man. Said, thanks for all the top content. Let's hope this is the start of the club having a plan and creating a squad with a plan. We'll talk about it. No Bovril and jam involved. Big up, Sav. Do you know what? I love a Bovril and jam sandwich. You can take the piss, but you've got to try it. Big up to you, Andy, and hopefully you got your bonus. Hopefully that's why you put this in. Big up to you, my man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And look, let's be fair. If you're going to build a squad, and guys, I don't have to tell you. I tell you every day. I don't care. Rip up the entire squad. I don't care. Some of them are okay, but there's no one there that I go, oh my God, he's absolutely amazing. So rip up the squad. And I suppose if you're going to rip up the squad, you start in goal, right? You start in goal. And I think it's very clear to a lot of people that I think it's clear to a lot of people that we need a new goalkeeper, don't we? I think the Vicario, listen, I've never really been, he's okay. He's okay. It's the sort of goalkeeper I would expect a team in the bottom 5 or 6 to sign. I don't think he's that good. Fine, take him to Inter Milan. He's a great shot stopper, aren't they all? Like, aren't goalkeepers shot stoppers by design? There's so much more to being a goalkeeper than shot stopping, and this guy just falters at so much of it. Listen, he has great games. I'm not doubting it. He has great games. He has these games where it looks like nothing's going to go past him, and that's great. But again, I say this about centre half. I want a solid centre half, 7 out of 10 each week. It's all I want from my goalkeeper. I just want people to do their job each week. We have a lot of players that seem to have this really erratic behaviour. One week they're brilliant, the next week they're rubbish. And for me, I just think we can't keep going along like that. So for me, I do think we need a new goalkeeper. I won't be sad to see Vicario go. He's not. I would say he's a 5 out of 10 goalkeeper. I think he's a 5 out of 10 who is capable of great games. There's lots of footballers like that, right? There's capable, lots that are capable. But listen, I'd give him a 5 out of 10. Now, the question's going to be this. This is what Tom Barkley, obviously of the Sun, he does the Spurs content. He has said that he understands that Tottenham are monitoring. Now, I love these words, right? Like, these words are great. We're monitoring James Trafford's situation at City as one of a few possible replacements if Vicario leaves in the summer. So again, look, it's not, oh my God, Trafford is signing for Spurs. It's not imminent. There's no bids, but we're monitoring. And I think the interesting thing about this is James Trafford probably went to Man City thinking that he was going to be the number 1 replacing Ederson. And then at the last minute, Donnarumma became available, and you don't pass up Donnarumma, right? Like, that's a top goalkeeper. You don't pass up Donnarumma. So Donnarumma's gone in, and it's left James Trafford very much as the number 2. Now, we know that James Trafford has played in the League Cup and the FA Cup. He's played a couple of league games. I believe he's made 14 appearances this season. And as a player, he's 23 years of age. Would, probably got aspirations of being England's number 1 further down the line. Would you want to sit on a bench, and how long would you want to sit on a bench for? So he left Man City, didn't he? Went to Burnley. He was the number 1. He goes back to Man City, probably believing he's going to be the number 1. And then he's number 2. Now, would you leave Man City as the number 2 to become the Tottenham number 1? Well, we're going to have to do the guessing game again on everything. I'm guessing if we stay in the Premier League, that would be a very attractive proposition. Come in, be the Tottenham number 1 in the Premier League. Would it be an attractive proposition to be the Tottenham number 1 in the Championship, or be Man City's number 2 and play 14, 15, 16 games a year? I don't know. I mean, does he want to go and play 46, 50 games a year down there, or be an understudy to Donnarumma? Now, I don't know. Listen, I can't sit here and say I know the guy. I don't know his personality. I don't know his temperament. I've seen him have some great games, seen him have some iffy games, a bit like a lot of goalkeepers, really. What does he do? Homegrown. It's absolutely brilliant for homegrown, right? And look, it is what it is. Look, I think there's a number of goalkeepers that Spurs could look at our level. And again, people will talk about lots of top players. Stanley, hey, come in here. Coming in. No, you're not allowed. Mummy's in a meeting. Come on. Come on. Stanley, good boy. Sorry. So we've really got to look at this and say, who are we capable of getting right now? Lots of names get thrown around, and I'm sure the Spurs recruitment team We'll have names drawn up. Lots of people want to talk about Verbruggen, which is the obvious one because of the link with De Zerbi. I think Verbruggen does well. Whenever I watch Brighton, I think he looks good, doesn't do anything wrong, looks solid. And then you've got players like Dean Henderson at Crystal Palace. Now, I'm an admirer of Dean Henderson. I think he's a good goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about the levels of a Donnarumma or a Neuer or anything like that. But I think that he's a good, solid goalkeeper. And again, I think we need to get to that. Right? I think we need to get to that. But there's goalkeepers. Listen, there's goalkeepers. Look all over the world. I mean, we could be here all day speculating about which goalkeeper, right? Look at Man United scouting Semi Le Mans. Think again, good goalkeeper. Good. Again, people always think, oh, Glazing. Not Glazing. I just think he's a good goalkeeper. Does a good job. Whenever you watch Man United now, they don't have those bozo moments they had weekly with Andre Onana. They don't have those bozo moments. And I think we need to get away from these bozo moments from Vicario. So we're going to see, right? Like we saw last night, the performance that someone like a David Raya put in. You know, we don't have that. We don't have that at all. We've got a very up and down goalkeeper that, look, I think he'll be okay in Italy. I don't think they're going to play out the back as much. Hey. Stop. Sorry. 1 second. Hey, Stewie. Sorry. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry. No. Come on. In here. No, mum. No. They're desperately trying to get in to see their mummy, my wife, and she's on a very important work meeting. So, anyway, so where were we? Yeah, so I just think we need to get a solid goalkeeper. Henderson of Verbruggen. I mean, I even look at the Sunderland goalkeeper. Is it Roofs? Whenever I've watched him, I think he looks good. He looks solid. I'll be honest. I think there's a lot of solid goalkeepers around. I don't think they're amazing, but I think there's a lot of solid goalkeepers around. And then I look at Vicario. I think his distribution is awful. I don't think he commands a box at all. He really doesn't command a box. And the problem is, if your goalkeeper isn't commanding, then the centre halves, the fullbacks, you know, the team in general, when defending set pieces, etc., they're not going to feel confident, are they? You want a goalkeeper that you know is going to come out and claim. So, for example, when you watch Everton, whatever you think of Pickford commands his area. Pickford comes out, punches everything. Pickford will get into that fight. He will put his body on the line. And you watch that and you think, yeah, we need that. I'm not saying Pickford per se, but wouldn't be a bad option, by the way. But we don't have that. I think Vicario, for me, is very cumbersome. He's very languid. He is dreadful with his feet. He is truly dreadful with his feet. So I think that he does need to leave. He's one of many that need to leave, in my opinion. I think he's been here a number of years now. I've not felt comfortable with him in goal at any stage. I remember with an army of people telling me he was better than Raya. I mean, in no way, shape or form is he better than David Raya at anything. But they're the decisions we made. We wouldn't pay the extra money. I think this is a bit silly, isn't it? Vicario makes Trafford look like Massimo Taibbi. I think that's a bit silly, isn't it? Listen, Vicario's a mistake-ridden goalkeeper. Listen, whether it's Trafford or not, I don't know. Homegrown may come into it. I think that's a big pull for a lot of clubs, isn't it? Homegrown, if you can get more homegrown players on the books. But what does that then mean for Anton Kinski? Does that mean that Kinski will forever be a number 2? Will he be sold? Will he be moved on loan? What happens with Brandon Austin? Does Brandon Austin stay? I don't know. I don't know. Again, this fan base is hilarious. Trafford is who you lot want. Again, when people say silly things like this, we're just talking about it. I understand the art of just having a conversation seems to have died with a lot of YouTube viewers. But we're just talking about it. I don't think anyone has said he's the greatest keeper in the world. We're just looking at Spurs have been linked with him. We're just looking and seeing what's he about. Is he good enough? Is he ready to be a number one at a club? We're just talking about it. Not everything needs to be so dramatic. But I think we need a goalkeeper, and I would personally like to see a new goalkeeper and 2 new centre halves. I'd like to see that triangle at the beginning of the pitch. I'd really like to see that sorted out. Now, there's probably going to be better goalkeepers, but you have to ask yourself the question: have Spurs got the pulling power? We're not going to be in Europe. We're an absolute mess of a football club. I don't know. I don't know is the answer. We've not been able to attract good players. Somebody in the chat there has mentioned Kelleher. I like Kelleher. Good goalkeeper. Really good, solid goalkeeper. Again, I tell you, I'm going to start blocking people. If they're just going to be silly, when you're saying it's extremely foolish to be talking about summer signings before relegation, we're just talking about some, we've been linked with Trafford. We're just talking about whether it'd be good. When you're saying it's extremely foolish, it's people like that. Don't watch YouTube then. What is it that, so we can't talk about anything until we know the status? I caveat everything and say, obviously, this all depends on if we stay up or not. So can we just stop with the silly comments? It's all a little bit silly. But let me know in the chat. Let me know the goalkeepers that you would take. I like Kelleher. I like Henderson. Pickford, I think, is a good goalkeeper. I don't know whether or not he would leave Everton for Spurs. I mean, we say money talks, but Spurs are just a bit of a mess, aren't we? And as much as people don't want to believe it, there are going to be players, there are going to be agents that look at Spurs and go, is that a good place to go? And, but, that's life. That's the reality of where we are as a football club right now. Let's get rid of that guy. He's an idiot. It's the reality of where we are, right? Of if you were a player right now, if your agent rings you up and says, hey, Spurs want you, depending where you're at right now, you're going to think twice, aren't you? We say that money talks, but we're not going to be in Europe next year. If we stay up, we're not in Europe. What have we actually got to offer? So I think it's going to be a lot of bargains. I think it's going to be a lot of players that maybe some fans haven't seen and are unknown, and scouting. Kind of what De Zerbi's done at the other clubs he's been at. That's where I think we are. That's only I say it's my opinion, but when was the last time Spurs signed a top player? When was the last time we actually attracted someone of real note? You could say Paulinho on loan. We've got him on a loan. Mawani on a loan. Do you know what I mean? Listen, kudos, but again, we got him from West Ham, who were in financial trouble. So it's a tough one when we come into transfer markets for Tottenham Hotspur. So I think that we're going to see. I think there's going to be a lot of come-ins and go-ins. I think we're going to see a lot of players that fans won't know, haven't seen, and they're going to kick up a fuss. Who's that? Who's this? But I almost think that's the route we need to go down. Scouted players. I think we need to go down the route of scouted players. We see Bournemouth do it, Brentford do it, Brighton do it. And we always say, oh, why can't we scout like that? Well, I think we will now. I think we're going to have to. Because all of the reports that came out this week about Spurs finances. Sorry for the noise, everyone. Sorry. All of the Spurs finances showing that we're not as rich as we think we are. There isn't going to be as much cash unless we go and sell a lot of these players and reinvest. Where is the money coming from? They're going to have to. They're going to have to scout. So I think that Spurs fans are going to have a little bit of a eyes wide open moment this summer. Now, I could be completely wrong. Maybe we sell loads of players, get 250, 300 million, and we go again and we've got money. Brilliant. But if we don't, please, for the love of God, can we get someone in that can scout? Please, can we please get some good scouts into this football club? You know, where did Brighton find a Verbruggen? Where did Brentford find the Igor Thiago? You know, we know where, but I think we need to go and do that rather than spending 67. Like I saw someone, a couple of people earlier, put in Diogo Costa of Porto, great goalkeeper, but they're going to want mega money. You think, do you want to go and spend mega money on a goalkeeper, or do you want to scout, get them cheaper and get more players in? And that's where we're going to be at, right? These last 2 years are going to hit hard. These last 2, 3, 4 years are going to hit very, very hard. Very, very hard. So it's going to be interesting to see, right? It's going to be very interesting to see what we do. But there's loads of goalkeepers, the French league and the German league and the Spanish league. And there's loads of goalkeepers around. MJ says that Verbruggen is the best choice. Sanctuary 7 loves Trafford, says he's a future England goalkeeper. Quite possibly. I mean, what would people say to Pickford, to Henderson, Verbruggen, Fells? You know, there's a lot of goalkeepers out there. There's a lot, and they're just Premier League goalkeepers that I've mentioned. Is there anyone in the Championship that you think could come up and do a good job? Anyone in the Spanish league, the French league, the German league, the Italian league? There's loads and loads of players that Spurs can look at. You go, so and Matt, so isn't it? And this is the difference, right? We're all said Trafford not good enough. I'd take Verbruggen. Other people think Trafford is definitely good enough. And well, it's going to be interesting to see if they do bring in a director of football. And if they bring in a director of football, sorry. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. I did my best to be quiet my end, and it wasn't reciprocated. So lots of people seem to be saying Verbruggen. Put the name in the chat. Put the name in the chat of a goalkeeper you would like to see. Now, this is all assuming that Vicario leaves. I'll be honest. I'll be very disappointed in De Zerbi and his team if they keep Vicario next year. That's only my opinion. I'll be really, really disappointed. I think this is one of the worst goalkeepers I've seen at Spurs for many years. I don't rate him in any way, shape, or form. As I said earlier, I hate the sentence, he's a good shot stopper. That's literally your job. Your first job is stop shots. That's your job. So let's have a look at who you lot want. Big up to Lincoln Chicken, said definitely want quality players that I've never heard of. This overpayment of average players that this club signs is dry. Absolutely. I think that's a really good point. We signed so many average. I mean, you look how much we spent between Johnson, Richarlison, Solanke, Odegaard, Tell. I mean, the money they spent on those five. What's that? 50 for Richarlison, 57 for Solanke, that's 107, nearly 50 million for Johnson, 30 million for Odegaard, 40 million for, it's over 200 million for those five. It's just shocking recruitment over and over again. Big up to, we don't want Andre Onana. Ellie wants Henderson. Yeah, listen, he's a good goalkeeper, Dean Henderson. I think he just gets on with it. So Dean Henderson, good choice. Anthony, you've got Raya. I mean, we could have had him, right? I mean, we wouldn't pay that little bit extra to get him. It's such a shame. Pala has said, if we're looking at a good, solid, dependable upgrade for Vicario, but nothing world class, any mid-table goalkeeper from the Bundesliga would do. Listen, as I said, I watch a lot of Bundesliga, and there's good goalkeepers everywhere. There are good goalkeepers everywhere. I just think Spurs, again, when we scout so badly and have for years. Pickford, Ryan wants Pickford. Hello, mate. How you doing? Hope you're well, buddy. I'd take Pickford. I've got no problem with that. Villa, Costa or Trafford. Yes, Villa's good. He's a good goalkeeper. There are good goalkeepers everywhere, right? Good. Not great, just good. Rose ain't going to Spurs. All right, you've said this about 4 times now. I get it. I'm guessing if we put in a bid, I'm guessing he'd be interested. As much as Sunderland have had a decent year, we're still a lot bigger than you. Danny said, I read yesterday that Lang and Vinay will be removed at the end of the season. Best move they could make. Listen, I think if the owners want to show us that things are changing, that needs to happen. Absolutely, that needs to happen massively. If that doesn't happen, it will show you that that nothing is really changing, won't it? And unfortunately, I think a lot of people in that position where they just don't trust the owners to do that. Linton has said, these fans who think Trafford is good enough for Spurs, why was he good enough for City but not good enough for us? He's not good. Well, look, I think this is, Linton, I think the difficult thing here, right, is I do think we have a lot of Spurs fans that truly believe we can attract a lot better players than we can. I think a lot of it comes down to that. Is the Madrid keeper Lunin any good? I'm guessing he's not going to swap the Bernabeu for Tottenham. But hey, listen, he does a good job for me whenever I watch Lunin. Verbruggen or Kelleher. Verbruggen, Henderson or Trafford. Trafford is downgrade. We need Verbruggen. I don't think Trafford is a downgrade from Vicario at all. I think Vicario is a really poor goalkeeper. But we need Verbruggen, Henderson or Pope. Rose. Scott has said, I think if Kinski has a couple of good games, Vicario might not play again this season, but Verbruggen would be my number one choice. Yeah, I think a lot of people are fans of Verbruggen. Look, we know he can play out of his feet. He's had a good time at Brighton. He's a good goalkeeper. But hey, Brighton sell their players for a lot of money, don't they? We'll see. When we're saying, can he step up? Step up to what? Step up to what? Tottenham are a mess. What's he stepping up to? It's a step down at the moment, mate. Where are we? Spurs Glory said, if we don't invest in good players, we won't get Champions League money and sell less merchandise. Well, look, if we don't buy good players, we won't get back to where we were competing for Europe in the league. We haven't competed in Europe for the last few years, and that's the problem, right? Kelleher says coys forever. Yeah, a lot of people want Kelleher. He's only just made the move to Brentford, so it'd be very interesting to see. Henderson, yeah, I think Henderson's better than Pope as well. I agree, Ellie. Rose will go to Chelsea. Yeah, listen, I think a few people might be after that lad. And then it's going to be about how much money. I think what people have got to understand as well is when we say so-and-so won't leave, so-and-so won't leave, it's easy to say that, but look, Rose will know what Sunderland are capable of and what they're not, right? So bigger clubs come in, the head turns, doesn't it? The head turns. I can't believe we paid that much money for him. We just keep doing it. I wouldn't mind if you get 1 or 2 wrong, but we do it every year. We just spend all this money on every year we do it. I mean, you know, we've spent, 70 million on Tell and Odegaard. I mean, think of the wingers you could have got in the last 2-3 years for 70 million pounds. And we got Tell and Odegaard for 70 million. It just beggars belief. Henderson or Trafford? I cannot believe that Jan Oblak would join Spurs, but I'd love him. Class goalkeeper. Jan Sommer, another name being chucked out by a user. Verbruggen. Lots of people on the Verbruggen train. Petrovic. Dan, I like him. Yeah, I like Villa. I think he's a good goalkeeper. Big up to you. Hello, Nige. How you doing, bro? And big up Savva and chat. Listening from work. For me, I'd like Flecken, the ex-Brentford keeper. I'll tell you what, he does a good job. Again, these other clubs seem to have scouted well, don't they? They scout these goalies well. We got Vicario. It's just so meh. But hey, a Kaneshi, new names being chucked into the mix here. Big up, Jeff. Henderson can't play from the back. There's Leander. We'll see. Noah Atabulu is a top goalkeeper. I don't know who that is. Let me have a look. Unless I'm being, am I being silly? Do I know who this is? I don't think I do. Freiburg, the Freiburg goalkeeper, 23 years of age. Okay. Okay, I don't know. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about him. I will go and check him out. Big up to you, Spurs side chat. Lots of people saying Trafford or Henderson. Martinez at Villa will have to sell. Listen, I like Emi Martinez. I think you know what you're going to get. He's a big character, commands his box. He's a leader of men. Would Spurs going for him? Maybe someone a bit young. I don't know. We're going to find out. Atavatron has said, under Enoch, the club has never been serious about scouting, never minding of a serious scouting system. And this is what annoys me. 25 years and they've not implemented a serious scouting system. It drives me mad. Everything we do seems to be opportunistic, hit and hope. It never seems that we actually have gone, well, we've had our eye on this goalkeeper at, I'm just making this up, by the way. We've had our eye on the Palmer goalkeeper for 3 years. You know, we've had our eye on the centre half from Mönchengladbach for 2 years. It always seems to just be an opportunity, doesn't it? A Zion from Parma. There's another one I don't really know. Let's have a look. I'm not going to pretend I do know him. Zion. Suzuki Zion. Japanese goalkeeper. Okay. And they got him from Belgium. I don't know a lot about him. Don't know a lot. So he's been at Parma for 2 years. Okay. Interesting. Where are we? Everton could be in Europe or even Champions League. Pickford isn't leaving. Yeah, listen, absolutely, they could be. Everton are going well. Who's that guy that always comes in my chat and says, oh, Savva, I'm an Everton fan. Moyes is shit. He's done a wonderful job again, hasn't he? He's done a wonderful job again. Yes, Savva thinks Chelsea are bigger than you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't say that. Sure, he is linked to Chelsea, but we're also bigger than you. So let's be brutally honest. If Tottenham were to start asking about whufc, are you saying he's not interested in Tottenham at all? I fail to believe that whufc wouldn't be interested in Tottenham. Peter, big up to you. I said we need a goalkeeper with good feet and commands his box from set pieces. Yep, we definitely do. We definitely do. James Stone in the chat, please stop being silly. I will just remove you. I've already given you one timeout. You're being silly now. All of your comments are now getting silly. Please, I will remove you. I don't want to, but please. Alfie, how are we doing? Said these next 2-3 games are now absolutely massive. I genuinely think we have to go to Sunderland at a minimum and take a point, especially now players are coming back. I think we've got to go to Sunderland and take 3. We're at the stage now, Alfie, where draws aren't good for us. Now, obviously, this depends on West Ham versus Wolves the day before, but I think we're at that stage where we need wins. Why would any of these goalkeepers want to leave though and come to us? If we go Championship, we might have to give. Yeah, well look, I think the difference is if we're in the Championship, no. But if we're in the Premier League and they can see that De Zerbi's signing 2 or 3 and he's going to make him the number 1, then I think a lot of these goalkeepers would. Listen, do I think Spurs have got the pull to take players from under the noses of Man U, Chelsea, City, Arsenal, Liverpool? No. Do I think we should be able to take players from Sunderland that haven't got that interest from other clubs? And yes, I do. And Palace, yes, I do. But look, we'll see. It depends who's in front. A lot of good keepers are made to look bad by point. Listen, it's a great point. It's a great point. You know, 1 second. There's a lot of goalkeepers that it works the other way, right? A lot of goalkeepers at lower down teams get a lot of praise because they face a lot of shots, and they'll say, "Oh, no keepers. What's he doing in here?" You know, no goalkeeper's made more saves than this goalie. It's like, yeah, well, he's playing for the team at the bottom of the table who have, you know, they're going to have lots of shots against them. So, yeah, all of these things need to be taken into account. Orestes would be a quality keeper to grab. I don't know who that is either. God, a lot of names being thrown. I like this. This is how we learn. Orestes of Toulouse. 21 years of age. Okay. Looks like he's been their first choice for 3 seasons. Okay. I'll have a look at him. Thank you, my man, Corey. How you doing? I'm pleased. Kane and Bayern took Royal Scout, but it's far from being over. Yeah, listen, long way to go in that game. Kobel from Dortmund. Yeah, again, could we attract someone from Dortmund? It's just a question. Just a question. Before our game against Atletico, I said Tell has to get a minimum of 5 GA in the last games of the season. He's got 1 out of 5 so far. An assist for Atletico. For me, look, each to their own. Listen, there are people that like him. There are people that don't. He isn't for me. Doesn't mean he won't be good in the future. But for me, I have not seen enough in 18 months of this boy. I've not seen enough in 18 months for me to say, yeah, I like him and he should stay. He's got a good cross. Every now and then he's got a good cross. But if I was a fullback, I don't think I'd mind playing against him. I don't mean me. I mean, like if I was a Premier League fullback, I don't think I'd mind playing against him. I just don't think he's good enough. But maybe he will be one day. Players learn, players grow, players develop. Some get better, some don't. Let's see what happens with him. Big up Flicks. How you doing, bro? He said, I'd definitely take Trafford over Vicario. I like the kid on loan at Coventry. Who's on loan at Coventry? Let's have a look. Who's the goalkeeper? Are you talking about goalkeeper? No. Their goalkeeper is Cole Rushworth. Is that who are you talking about? I don't know who we're talking about now. Let me know who you're talking about. It's going to be a long season. Well, listen, we're not down. Listen, De Zerbi's job, keep Tottenham Hotspur up. That's De Zerbi's job, right? Keep Tottenham Hotspur up. And like Michael said, the belief is back. There's a lot of people saying the belief is back. And I feel that the belief is back under De Zerbi. Tudor was just absolutely awful. Mike Maignan, listen, I'd love Mike Maignan. I think if Magnan's available, I think he's got big suitors, and that's half the problem, right? I think if he becomes available on the market, I think there's going to be a lot of big clubs that want a Mike Maignan, and then we're back to, can Spurs compete? I don't think we can. We've shown that we can't. Who would I keep? I wouldn't keep either of them. They're okay, aren't they? But again, it's indicative when you sign players at this level, you're going to be at this level in the league. For me, look, I've seen nothing from either of them for 2 seasons that makes me go, yeah. And I can't just look at one good cross every now and then and say that's enough to have my mind swayed. I want to see performances where I go, God, you were unplayable today. I want to see consistency. I want to see something, and I just don't see it. But hey, it's up to De Zerbi. He's going to decide who he keeps, and we'll see who he can get a tune out of. Big up to Ben. How you doing? Said morning, everyone. I like Trafford as a keeper, but I think we need someone more experienced. Well, that's a good point. There's another facet to the argument, isn't it, Ben? Is to whether or not has he got the experience to be a number one? We know he was the number one at Burnley in the Championship, but now he's come up. He's not a number one in the Premier League. I don't know. Rushworth, the Brighton kid. Okay, right, I see. Alfie Hall. So Jack Radoni deserves a shot at Premier League. He's going to be in the Premier League anyway. I like Jack Radoni whenever I've seen him play. He's going to be in the Premier League. Coventry are up, right? Let's look at this. Coventry are 12 points clear with 5 games to go. Coventry are getting promoted. Unless they absolutely shit the bed and lose their last 5 games, Coventry are promoted. And just a bit of credit. What a great job Frank Lampard's done there in a year and a half. What a great job Frank Lampard has done there. Fair play to him. Took the knock in the Premier League. He's gone to a Coventry who were nowhere near a good team last year. He done well second half of last season, and now he's going to go and win the league this year. Good morning, Kate. How are we doing? Hope you are well. Would I take Jurgen Sommer? I would. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Yeah, it's difficult. I find it really difficult to get excited about first team coaches now. I feel like we've had so many in the last 7, 8 years. It's just like it's a revolving door of coaches at White Hart Lane, isn't it? Um, if Telly's less selfish and does less silly step overs and compose himself, he will help us stay up. Um, sure. Sure. I mean, for me, I need some output from the boy. I need to see some output. I think his shooting is dreadful. There's so many times where that doesn't mean he won't score the odd goal, but there's so many times where he gets into good shooting positions and then the shot just is really weak or tame. Look, we'll see. Maybe he develops into a top pro. Maybe. Hopefully he does. But right now, again, I think it was lazy scouting. Ben said the dream keeper signing is Verbruggen, but I don't think we will sign someone of that level. I would love Verbruggen. I'll be honest. I think he's a really good goalkeeper. Yeah, Rushworth on loan. Okay, right, it was. Yeah, good shout, especially if we don't avoid the drop. Listen, let's see. Let's see what happens. I guess this will all be down to what De Zerbi wants, right? And you would like to think that he's calling the shots. Where are we? Clay Tinsey said sell both keepers. Austin has done nothing wrong, so a good second goalkeeper. Look, for me, I can't keep saying this, Clay. I think you've heard me say this a million times. I don't care who they sell in this squad. Kudus, I'd be really annoyed to see go, but Maddison as well, injury dependent. Xavi Simons, I've seen him do so many good things, especially before Spurs, that I'd like to see him. But other than that, I'm not precious. I'm not precious. They can let all the keepers go. Rob Welsh said, hard to believe it's been 25 years since Coventry were in the top flight. That's mad. Rob, when I was growing up, Coventry were a staple of the Premier League. Players like Hadji and Chippo, Gordon Strachan, McAllister was there. They had people like, God, I'm just trying to think. Peter Bosfeld. Where has that come from? Remember Peter Bosfeld? John Eustace was at Coventry, wasn't he? Gosh, Coventry. Darren Huckabee. Yeah. God, those were the days. Those were the days. Foxy. How you doing, Foxy, my man? Hope you're well. So Radoni would be mental to leave Coventry in the summer. He'll play week in, week out in the Prem with them and give himself a chance to get in an international call-up for the US. Yeah, listen. I think, look, he's going up, right? If I was him, I'd stay there. But Foxy, you know what it's like. If a bigger club comes calling and the money and the, we'll see. But I like Radoni whenever I've seen him play. I like Radoni. Big up to Howling Mad. Murdoch said, Savva, do you think they'll improve the medical team? I don't know. I feel like they improve it every year, don't they? And it never seems to actually be improved. But yeah, I mean, the injuries for the last few years, straight away, another reason why we've got to get rid of so many of these players. But let's see. Let's see. Machina Joe, my man, how are you feeling about Moyes now? He's done a good job, hasn't he? You keep telling me how bad he is. So anyone watch Arsenal? Can't see them win the Champions League. Very boring. No, I think that over 2 legs, I think Barcelona would do them. I do think that PSG or Bayern Munich, someone like that, would take them to the cleaners in 90 minutes. It's awful. The only compliment anyone can ever give him is attitude and work rate, but that's only when the ball is at his feet. Off the ball, he does nothing. Never seen him make a run. Look, each to their own. I don't want to go in. It seems like I've got a vendetta. I don't have a vendetta against him. I'm just really disappointed that, we keep signing the Tells, the Odebers, the Yangs, the Valise. Like, we've had money and just spent it so badly. V Cats. Hello. I said, Savva, I've missed a lot of shows recently. I wanted to know if you are more optimistic. That was nearly a word. If you are more optimistic with regards to avoiding relegation after De Zerbi joined. Yes. Under Tudor, I couldn't see anything but relegation. I think he was dreadful, like a dreadful coach, a dreadful tactician. I thought he was horrendous. Yep, I feel more confident. We're not out of the woods. We got to grab some wins. Like we're 7 games to go. There's no time. We've got to grab wins. Got to grab a win. Starting at Sunderland, go and get a win. Peter and Love. Oh yeah, at Coventry, wasn't it? Peter and Love. And yeah, Huckabee was a good player. Huckabee was a very good player. Dion Dublin, Peter Beagrie. Yeah. Gosh, Peter Beagrie was very good, skillful winger, Peter Beagrie. Very good, skillful winger. Coventry going up and Spurs going down is something I never thought I'd say. Well, you haven't said it yet. You haven't said it yet. Somebody made this and I was like, hopefully I never have to use this, right? Hopefully I never, ever have to use this. But yeah, listen, Coventry aren't up and Spurs aren't down. Neither thing has happened yet, but Coventry will come up, right? But yeah, listen, Coventry they always had a few really good players sprinkled about their team. Phil Babb, good centre half. Phil Babb, Republic of Ireland centre back. Yeah, Ferg, Dion Dublin. Centre half or centre back, wasn't it? Centre half or centre forward, wasn't he, old Dion? Yeah, David Boost or Bust or whatever his name was. Yeah. Oh, that was a bad one. If anyone hasn't seen it, the David Bust broken leg, that's a tough one to watch. That is. Steve Grizovic. Oh, God. Steve Grizovic. What a big man he was. I agree. I agree. Yep. No more gimmicks. No more. He's a good shot stopper. Let's just get in a goalkeeper that can play in 2026. Gordon Strachan, player manager Ginger. Yeah, I do remember Peter and Love. Yeah, very skillful forward. I remember him. I remember him well. Didn't John Hartson play at Coventry? Am I making that up? John Hartson was definitely. Somebody will tell me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure. Gary Breen. Do you mean not Green? Breen, right? Yeah. Breen. Yeah. Gary Breen. Yeah. Gosh, Coventry. I remember going to Highfield Road. God, what year would this have been? This would have been 1999. 99 or 2000. I remember going to Highfield Road. Spurs lost 2-1. And Hadji and Chippo were unbelievable. Hadji and Chippo. If anyone remembers Hadji and Chippo playing, they were unbelievable that day. Here he is, my man, Matt. I have a feeling this summer will be a big one. Yeah, we say this every summer, don't we? I think there'll be a lot of ins and outs. I just don't think it's going to be a lot of big names. Wins with these crap players who don't care about the club. Listen, they've got to find some wins or we're going down, right? They've got to find some wins or we're going down. Foxy, so Robbie Keane, Coventry. Yes, he was. Yes. Yeah, Robbie Keane. Good player, Robbie Keane. Good. We used to sign Robbie Keanes and Jermaine Defoe's. Now we've got Richarlison, Solankis, Odebers and Tells. Oh, so demoralising. Tudor doesn't look like a number one, does he? Nope. I think he'd be a decent number 3 because he was a leader in his day. But footballers, yeah, I agree. There was nothing about him that I warmed to, if I'm honest. Nothing. Yeah. Bellamy, quality player. Craig Bellamy, again, quality player. Cyril Regis, God, yeah, people are digging into the depths of Coventry. Yeah, yes, they are. Machina Joe, he has proved you wrong. He has. I don't understand why you hated him. David Moyes has done a wonderful job wherever he's been. Let's be honest, other than the Man United spell, which was always going to be tough. He's done a wonderful job. And the Everton fans, you guys should be very, very happy with him. You should be very happy with him. Mickey Quinn was at Coventry. Yeah. He was indeed. Love a bit of football nostalgia. I miss those days. I'll tell you what, yesterday afternoon, I put on Sky Sports and they had one of their throwback games. And it was from 2012, maybe 2000. Yeah. And it was Chelsea at home to Man United. And it was 3-3. Chelsea were 3-0 up. And then Man U clawed it back to 3-3. And I looked at the players on the pitch, right? And when people tell me that football's better now, I looked at the players on the pitch, right? So Man United had Patrice Evra, right? Rio Ferdinand, Carrick, Scholes, Giggs, Enner Valencia, Rooney, Hernandez. And I was looking at it going, oh my God, look at these players. Chelsea had people like Juan Mata, right? Ashley Cole, it was was just levels. Like it was just, they had loads, they had Cech in goal and Van der Sar was in goal for Man United. And I was just watching it going, God, look at the level of players then to now. And that was only 13, 12 years ago. Yeah, I loved him. Good player. Good player. Big up, Dylan. Says, have a quick question. Locatelli seems to be Serbi's number one, but we're hard to get. And United going after Anson. Would you try Vastilla? Listen, I'd love Locatelli. Everyone knows my feelings on him. I think he's a top-class ball-playing midfielder. This guy would come in and run the show. This guy would come in, sit at the base of the midfield and run the show. Quality footballer, quality passing, quality control, technique, touch. Would I try Vastilla? I'd like Stiller as well. Problem is, there's going to be a lot of clubs after this type of footballer in the summer, right? So Spurs are going to have to move quickly. It's something we're not normally very good at. Big up, Rob. Says, John Hartson and Craig Bellamy both play for Coventry. Yeah, the original Welsh Mafia. Go on, the Welsh Mafia. Yes. Good. Good. The Welsh Mafia. David Speedy. God, you're going back some years now, Ferg, aren't you? Noel Whelan. Yep. Yeah, you spelled it wrong. You put in one too many E's. Doesn't matter. Noel Whelan. Good. Yeah, I remember players like this. Don Hutchinson. He was down there as well. Big Ronner's manager. Should we all go and support Coventry? If Spurs go down, should we all support Coventry? Oh, dearie me. Danny says here, I remember when we had Keane, Berbatov, Defoe, and Maido as our options up front. I know. And this is why when people tell me that I've got an agenda against these players, I don't know how we've gone from this to what we are. I don't know how we are so bad with our signings. We are just so bad at scouting the right type of player. Merrick, how you doing, Merrick? Said I had a soft spot for Coventry, but always tainted by the 87 Cup final. Still haven't been able to watch it back. Yeah, Spurs losing to Coventry in the 87 final. And this is the way. Yeah, when Matt says we're going to have a top summer, especially when he wants people like what's his name, Tyler Dibbling. You do have to worry. You do have to worry. Mate, he's done a great job, Ben. He's done a great job there this year, isn't he? He's done a really good job. Lots of people won't like him because it's not a sexy name. He doesn't play sexy football, but he's a football manager. He goes in, he does the job that he's paid to do. He does the job. Done really well there. He really, really has. Matter is playing in Australia now. Go on, one Matter. Moyes a very good coach. Just don't think he's made for the step up to Big Six teams. Spurs job would be a bit too big for him. The pressure cooker of what? 17th and 17th. This is a Tottenham team that have never won the league. What pressure cooker? I'll be honest, I don't understand when people say this. I don't understand. This is what they all said about Frank, right? This is what they'll do with De Zerbi. If De Zerbi doesn't do well, they'll say, oh, it was because he's the step up to Tottenham. What step up? I don't know what that means anymore. I don't know why we're better than these other clubs who are above us. I don't know where this arrogance comes from. And again, this is a really good point. Yeah. Everton are a big club. If Spurs are a big club, Everton are a big club. 9 league titles. Absolutely. Absolutely. Savva, do you think Raya is world class? No. I don't think he's world class. Listen, I'm really harsh on calling players world class, by the way. Anyone who watches me regularly knows this. I think Raya's a top goalkeeper. I think he's in that level below. I think Oblak, Courtois, Neuer, I think those types of goalkeepers, Donnarumma, I think they're world class. I think Raya is the next level below, but he's a very good goalkeeper. He's a very, very good goalkeeper. Yeah, you're talking levels, right? We used to scout Berbatovs. We now buy Solankis and Richarlisons. It just levels. Absolutely levels. And absolutely, Ben, football did begin before 1992. I know. And this is the crazy thing. This is the crazy thing. Yeah, look, I think we've got to remember a lot of these people don't know their football history, right? I think a lot of them, haven't looked into the history. Everton are a massive club historically. When you think of the days that when they had Andy Gray, Peter Reid, You know, Pat Vander, Big Pat was at the back for him, wasn't he? Graham Sharp. You know, they were winning. They were winning league titles and winning in Europe, if I'm not wrong, as well. Yeah, and you know that Andy Gray. I want to say Graham Sharp. I want to say they had Graham Stewart. You know, they had some good players back in the day. Yes, it came in. It came in. The ACCA came in last night. It was only a 3-team ACCA, and we've gone with a 3-team ACCA tonight as well. So I won't tell you what it is yet, but yes, I've gone with that too. Yeah, Gary Lineker was at Everton back in the day. Listen, they were, you know, Dave Watson, Big Neville Southall, Peter Reid, you know, like I do think that people should do their homework. Yes, absolutely. Sharp and Sheedy. Yeah, Kevin Sheedy. Yeah. So Peter Beardsley, right? Like, I think that a lot of people, this is what I think makes me laugh. When people say, you know, Spurs, so-and-so can't handle it at Spurs, we're a big club. Well, you know, Jose Mourinho, we were 8th or 7th in the league with him at the time when he was sacked, right? Like, what we saying that Jose Mourinho couldn't handle it because it was Spurs? Like, I don't think we're as big as people think we are. We can't attract top players. We don't win titles. You know, I think a lot of fans really need to have a little bit of a reality check as to what we are. Phil Coy said we can get back to being a top 6 club next season if we buy smart and back the manager. Sure, if we buy smart, if we back the manager. I don't know what all this means, by the way, being a top 6 club. I mean, it changes every year. You know, are Villa now a top 6 club? I don't know. You know, are they a top 4 club? I don't know. Matt said, trophy's not the only metric. We have more money than Everton. So what? We have more fans. So what? We're also more known. Well, so what? Everton are massive historically. We all know about the players like Big Dunk. So what? We've got more money. What are we doing with it? What do we do with it? So what? So what is that? What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. Yeah, it's like people like Tony Cottee, Daniel Amakachi. God, yes. I remember him putting us to the sword in the FA Cup semi. About us. Yeah, top. Oh, yeah. Those were the days, Chris. Top goalkeeper. Big Neville Southall in goal. Yeah. He must have had over 100 cap for Wales as well, surely. Gaza played at Everton. Yes, he did. Paul Rideout. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, look, when we're saying trophies aren't the only metric, of course they're not the only metric, but you know, I listen, I don't really care about the whole who's bigger conversation. I don't really think it means anything. I don't think it means anything. All I know is that we're just a really badly run club. So that's all I know is we can have all the money in the world. When we're spending it on crap that we spend it on, I just don't think it matters. Yes, he did indeed. Gianola did have a spell at Everton. He did. Oh, my David. He did have a spell at Everton. Not long, but he was there after Villa, if I'm not wrong. Didn't they have Gianola and Gaza there at the same time? Tony Cottee, another great goal scorer, Tony Cottee, back in the day. We are a top 6 club, mate. I mean, I don't even know what it means. I don't even know if it's a brag. Are we a top 6 club? I don't know what it means. You know, for the last, you know, in the last however many years, we're not behaving like a top 6. I don't know what top 6. I don't know what it means. What does it mean? A top 6 club? We're just a mess. We are 29th in the all-time league title. We're nowhere near it when it comes to winning league titles. Yeah, we're nowhere near it. Yeah, we're nowhere near it. I think it all depends on. Listen, I think a lot of it with fan base is bias and vanity. Like, I don't really care. I don't really care if top 4, top 6. I want my football club to be run properly. That's all I ask for is my football club to be run properly. I don't care if people think we're a top 6 club, a top 4 club. It doesn't mean anything. Right now, I'll tell you who's a top 6 club, right? Right now, there's the top 6, right? Right now, that's all that matters. Right now, that's all that matters. The top 6 clubs are Arsenal, City, United, Villa, Liverpool, and Chelsea. They're the top 6 clubs in the country. Now, it really doesn't matter anything else. I mean, we can pretend we're in that mix. We're miles off those clubs right now. We are absolutely miles away from those football clubs. And the problem is, time doesn't stand still. Time moves on. Those clubs have moved. Villa have moved in recent years. Brentford have moved in recent years. Yeah, Spurs haven't moved. Now, can we get back there next year? Sure. If everything goes right, 1, stay in the Premier League. That would be a big help, wouldn't it? 1, stay up. There's your first port of call. 2, get rid of all the wasters that don't want to be here. 3, bring in players that do want to be here. 4, give the manager time. If you don't give the manager time, nothing's going to happen. Absolutely. I can't sit here and call my club a top 6 club when we're signing players that we sign. That's not top 6 behaviour for me. So we're right. Matt's right. Trophies aren't the only metric. What about the way you behave as a club? That's got to be a metric, hasn't it? Exactly. Absolutely, Ben. Build a decent football team. Absolutely. Everything else is vanity. Build a decent football team. Stop buying average footballers, put together a team, and then we can start talking about if we're a top whatever. I don't care. But do you know what? When I was growing up, it was never a thing. No one talked about top 4, top 6. It wasn't a thing. It just wasn't a thing, and it really is now. No. See, this is where you do your stupid thing. This is where you get silly, Matt. Right? No one cared more about league finish. It's both. We won the Europa League, great, but we also finished 17th in the league. Right? You can have both. Just because we won the Europa League didn't mean we should have finished 17th. So, listen, at the end of the day, each to their own. But listen, people like you, Matt, you keep condoning bad signings. All the while you condone bad signings, I don't know how you can call us a big club. But hey, it's up to you. Corey Mania said James Trafford will be class, definitely better than Vicario. I think you're probably better than Vicario, Corey, and I've never seen you play. All the traditional top 6 clubs are in the top 6 of the table, even Man United, who started out garbage, but Spurs. Well, look, the difference is, right, and this is what makes you laugh. How many fans in the summer said about Man United, right? Oh my God. I saw people, look, they've just wasted 200 million, Cunha and Buemo and Sesko, right? They're 3rd in the Premier League table. Again, all the experts, Sesko, he's not good. Look how many important goals Sesko scored for them in the second half of this season. Look how many important goals. And Buemo, Cunha, getting better and better as the season goes on. That fly is annoying me. That fly is doing my head in. Yeah. I got him first time, right? And again, it's not that, oh my God, Sesko's amazing, but Man United, the one thing I'll give them credit for, Man U have been a mess as well. Let's make no bones about it. But Man United went out in the summer and spent £200 million on a strike force. £200 million on a strike force. As I said, Spurs spent £200 million on Tell, Odegaard, Solanke, Richarlison and Johnson. I mean, look at the levels. Look at the levels, right? That's just levels to what we did. Cunha and Buemo. And you look at look what we're buying, the levels. And United are going to go again in the summer. I bet United have a good summer. I bet you they have another good summer. No, sorry, mate, you don't get to do this. No, you don't get to do this. You can't say managers need 3 to 5 years and then say that Frank didn't warrant that. You can't say that. That's not how this works. They either do or they don't. That's why you're so disingenuous as a football fan, right? That's why you're so You said when Ange Postecoglou was sitting 17th in the league, you said he deserves 3 to 5 years, right? Thomas Frank left us to think we were sitting in 14th, and you said he doesn't. That's just not that. No, I'm sorry. That is you don't get to do that. And that's why everyone sees that you're a liar, I'm afraid. Big up to my boy Chris. Said another thing you used to never hear, field tilt. Oh God, Chris, what is field tilt? Who gives a shit? Oh my God, field tilt. So glad I got up in the year I did. Agreed. Following on from what annoys me, the term he needs to finish his dinner. My mate says, can he put the biscuit in the basket? Savva, do you rate players being more to assists? Isn't it just the last pass for a goal? Look, the assists one is always interesting, right? Because an assist can be, I give it to you 2 yards away and you hammer it top corner. Or an assist can be, I beat 3 men, lay it off and you score. So I think if you're getting a volume of assists, then you must be doing something right? You know? I'm still trying to convince our fan base there's still so much of this fan base that rates him. It's truly a worry. It's truly a worry, my man. It really, really is. Well done stopping Matt Savva. Matt, listen, the funny thing is he changes opinion, right? He changes opinion every listen, this manager deserves 3 to 5 years. This manager doesn't. So essentially what he's saying is, and he's not clever enough to work this out, the ones he likes deserve 3 to 5 years. The ones he doesn't rate don't. And that's where it's silly. Every manager needs some sort of time. We can't be giving managers 6 months and going, it didn't work. Well, of course it's not going to work. If you don't buy players they need, it's not going to work. If you don't buy De Zerbi the players he needs, it's not going to work. This isn't rocket science, right? Fans will get on De Zerbi's back very quickly, right? They will get on his back very quickly if he has a month without winning a game, for example, right? Managers need time at the best of times, let alone coming into Spurs and the shit show we've been. For example, Thomas Frank took over a shit show at Spurs and everyone wanted it sorted out in 6 months without actually buying the players we need. Now, De Zerbi has taken over a shit show. Everyone will want it sorted out within 6 months. It doesn't work like that. You cannot have years and years and years of damage and think that it's going to change like that, right? Years and years of damage can't just be undone at the click of the fingers. That's the problem. And this is where the younger fans like Matt, they don't get that. You need time. You need stability. Let's have a look, right? Let's have a look at the league table, okay? If we look at that league table, okay, Arsenal have had their manager for 6 years. Man City have had their manager for 10 years. Man United, we know what's happened with Man United. Aston Villa have had their manager for 3.5, 4 years, right? Liverpool had Klopp for 9 years, left them a top squad that won the league, right? There's a reason that those teams are at the top. There's a reason. You know? So listen, I don't like when people's opinions change that much. I think if your opinion changes like that, I worry. If over time and evidence, I get it. I think it's great to change over time and evidence. But I think that, as I said, for that whole year and a half, Matt waffled on to me. Every week, he found an excuse for Ange losing and said he needs 3 to 5 years. When it was Frank, it was he's got to go. And as I said, you be consistent. If he had said the same thing for both, consistency, I rate it. When you don't, sorry, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. Ange, for example, had £400 million and 17, 18 new signings. Thomas Frank had 2 senior pros signed for it, right, in a summer and 1 window. Like, surely you've but, and again, I said this isn't about Frank versus Ange. It'll be the same with De Zerbi, right? You've got to back him. You've got to give him time. You've got to give him time, right? If De Zerbi comes in and we want him to do well, right, then you got to give him time. If De Zerbi comes in and there's 13 injuries and we've only had a poor summer window like we did last year, then I'm expecting him to struggle as well. This isn't rocket science. This really isn't rocket science. But I can't have people telling me that, you know, sure. But the problem was, Ange was doing a worse job at the time than what Frank was doing. When one was told he needs 3 to 5 years, the other had to go immediately. That's the problem, Roberto, right? You know, you can't look. I've said this for years. If Spurs want to be successful, right, find a normal manager that plays a normal brand of football, not Ange Postecoglou's suicidal high line, right? Back them, give them time, let them get rid of the deadwood, let them bring in their own players, just act like a proper football club. Let's see where we are in a few years' time. But we don't. Right? But we don't. We want to bring in a manager last summer, not back him, have all those injuries and then go, oh, this isn't working. Of course it's not. Of course it's not. He hasn't got any of his own players that he wanted. He's got 13 injuries. Like, regardless of the players. Well, no, but you've got to have the right players to play your way, right? You've got to. Why did Brentford do so well under Frank then, Matt? Could it be because he had Mbeumo? Could it? And Ivan Toney? And Norgard? Could it be because he had his own players that he worked with for a number of years and built them into a team? Could it be? I don't know. Yeah, but again, think about what you're saying. De Zerbi, of course, because De Zerbi, first of all, now he's got all the players back. And secondly, yeah, in the summer, we're going to buy better players, aren't we? Well, there's the hope that we buy better players, right? Look, at the end of the day, we can keep doing this game all the time. We can keep doing this. Every time a manager has a rough spell, we can get rid of them. I've been guilty of this in the past. If we keep doing it, we are never going to settle and be a proper club, right? And isn't it funny? When managers like Frank are given time and they settle at a club, that club does well. This is not rocket science. Iriola was given time to settle. At Spurs, he wouldn't. Now look at Bournemouth, right? Silva at Fulham, right? When given time and you're allowed to buy your own players in over a number of years and put your own philosophy in, you do well. Not rocket science, is it? It really isn't. But wanting people to go on, pick up this mess, go and be brilliant immediately. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I think he'd do well at a Palace. I do. Listen, each to their own. There are loads of managers that, that need time. Managers need time. But especially at Spurs, I mean, we're such a mess, aren't we? We're such a mess. And this is why, right? This is why, right? That I don't worry too much about. People keep saying to me, where should we finish next season? I'm not too bothered. Obviously, I don't want to be near the bottom again. But next season, can we just build and grow? Can we just let De Zerbi implement his system? Can we just have a year where we don't have 13 or 14 injuries? I don't know. I don't know. I just want a season where we've not got fans saying silly things. There's too many that just say really, really silly things. And it's like all the evidence is in front of us to how badly this club is run. And yet we still believe that somebody's going to come in and just go, bada! And that will only happen if the owners change. So if the owners get 10 out and then 10 in, right? maybe we got a chance. If we go with this squad again next season, I don't think anything really changes. Oh, it might be a few places higher up the table, a bit better football, but look, I would just like to see this manager. Please give him some time. Please, can we give this manager some time? Please, please, because people like Matt will be hounding him out very shortly. People like this will be hounding him out very shortly, very, very shortly, and you knew it was coming. And we are missing Kudus. We are missing Kudus. We are massively. He's a very good footballer. He holds on to the ball. We need people. We always say, oh, he's greedy. He holds on to the ball. He brings others into the game. Absolutely, Darren. I completely agree with you. Managers aren't blameless. And absolutely, different players for different managers. But Darren, this is the thing. What people like Matt can't understand, this is why I think he's a bit silly. What he can't understand is, if as a manager you come in and pick up a squad that was built for 7 different managers over 7 different years, some managers can't deal with it. Some managers are right, okay, I need to get rid of this over a number of years, bring in my own and build my own identity. But we don't want to give people that time. De Zerbi will need that time as well. Exactly, Mark. Good point. Yeah. Okay, Matt, so you're answering my question. So the only reason you don't like it is because it wasn't a progressive footballing philosophy. So that comes down to your like on a manager, not your belief on what every manager should get. That's the point you're not getting. So if Frank had tried to play more attacking football, you're saying you would have wanted him to stay, which shows you only want attacking football. That's fine, right? That's fine. But what if we have an attack? We had an attacking philosophy under Ange, and he was worse than Frank during that season. So it doesn't quite make sense what you're saying, regardless of the results. So if we play attacking football and lose every week, you don't mind. That blows my mind as to how, I'll say it, how dumb can one person be? I don't mind losing every week as long as we lose while attacking. What? I don't want to lose every week. What are we doing? I genuinely don't get it. Is this where we're at? Right? And can I tell you all how stupid this guy sounds? He's just said about Ange. How did Ange win the Europa League? Was it with an attacking philosophy, or did he just stick 10 men behind the ball? So which one is it? Do you want the attacking philosophy or trophies? Which one is it? Just now, you said it was about winning trophies. Winning the trophy was done by putting 10 men behind the ball, which is the philosophy you don't like. I'm confused. Which one is it you like? Everybody in the chat, can you tell me which one? I'm struggling to understand which one it is. Is it that the philosophy is important, or is it that the trophies are important? Because Matt seems to like both, even if they counteract each other. I'm not changing your words at all. I'm not changing your words at all. You said you want to see an attacking philosophy, but we won the Europa League not playing an attacking philosophy. It just doesn't make sense, mate. No, you said it. You said it, mate. No, I'll literally show you, Matt. This is where I'll bring up all day long, mate. Here you go. Show me a progressive footballing philosophy regardless of the results, and I'll get behind it. Okay. But we won the Europa League by playing literally 10 men behind the ball and defending. But you got behind that. So which one is it? Are you getting behind attacking football, or is it winning? Which one is it? I'm confused. I think everyone's confused, Matt. Very confused. This is why when you change your mind every 5 seconds, we all see it. I see all your comments. Feel free to come on. I know you won't. You always shit the bed, but feel free to come on and let's talk about it. For me, listen, I love attacking football. That's great. But every game can't be attacking. You can't just be an attacking team every game. That flies, do it. Has he just gone out there and come back it? Don't have windows and doors open during the summer. This is what happens. This is what I don't understand, right? By the way, he doesn't need to be timed out if anyone's saying that. No, he doesn't. Matt doesn't need to be timed out. He's just getting a lesson. And if you change your mind every 5 seconds, this is what happens, right? This is what happens. People see. And this is absolutely right. This is absolutely right. Right now, we just need to grind results. Because Matt's manager Tudor came in and ruined it all. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. We had a go the first half. Did we? Did we? I don't really remember us doing anything in the first half either. Did we? Sorry, I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true that we did give it a go the first half. I thought we were awful the entire game. Listen. As I said, if your philosophy is managers need time, then stick with it. It can't be, oh, this manager does, that one doesn't. That's not fair. That's not right. You know, he said the manager that had already had £400 million and 4 transfer windows needed 3 to 5 years. The manager who had 1 summer window where we got 2 permanent signings in doesn't deserve time. That doesn't make sense to me. That just doesn't make sense to me at all. But listen, you'll watch. He'll change his opinion soon anyway. He'll change his opinion. Don't worry. Don't worry. Darren, I agree with you. Darren, I agree with you. I really, really do. He had to, because his style of play was awful, of course. And this is the difference between progressive football and balanced. It's okay to want your team to attack, but you've got to be balanced. And the problem was, Ange wasn't balanced. It was all that way. At the back, I've never seen us as bad as I had under Ange Postecoglou. But when Ange defended, that's what won us the Europa League. I'm not sure why he didn't adopt that a bit more in the Premier League, and then we wouldn't have been in that position where people wanted him gone. That's what I can't work out. He saw that we could defend, but chose not to make us defend in the league. It was just all a bit, it was all a bit strange for me. I didn't quite get it. Big up, Mark said, I'm waiting until Sunday before commenting. We've been poor for too long for me to believe we're suddenly. I completely agree. Listen, for me, I don't care how we play at Sunderland. We've got to win. We've got to pick up a win, because we failed to pick up wins for so long that we've got to pick up a win this week. Big up. Sorry, I didn't see this. Dean Law with a super sticker. Thank you very much. Dean Law carrying on the super sticker train. Thank you, buddy. Always very, very generous to me indeed. Let's go for it. I can keep going through people's comments if they want. I think it's always interesting. I know some people go, oh, why do you always read out comments? But surely we should, right? Yeah, we need 3 points, especially if West Ham beat Wolves. Right? Especially if West Ham beat Wolves, we need 3 points. If West Ham win and we don't, we are in some serious trouble. Right? We are going to be in some serious trouble if West Ham win. Daz thinks we will draw at Sunderland and beat Brighton. Listen, 4 out of 6 points would be brilliant. All I know is we've got to win one of them, Daz, right? We can't just keep losing. I agree, Daniel. I think it will be a big mental boost. I think the only way the interim works is if it's someone that the players will believe in. Here we go. Florian Plettenberg has just said this. Here, I'll show you on screen. Again, Florian Plettenberg, 1 second. Let's have a look. My mate Florian, where are you? Oh, why have I lost Florian Plettenberg? Florian Plettenberg. There we go. Florian Plettenberg has said this. It's not about Spurs, by the way. Don't get excited. So Florian Plettenberg has said that Forest expect Elliot Anderson to join either Man United or Man City if he leaves in the summer. So far, no club has made direct contact. A fee in the region of 100 to 120 million is being demanded. If anyone wants to know 2 reasons why Spurs will not sign Elliot Anderson, it's because clubs like Man U and Man City want him, and the fee is 100 to 120 million. This is why when people say just put the money down, it's not happening. It's not happening. Listen, this is a really good player. You know, this is a really, really good player. And I think he'll listen. If he goes to Man United, listen, whoever timed Matt out, don't time him out. He didn't do anything wrong. I'll call him out, but don't do that. Klopp's first season, he never had the players, but showed an identity. Klopp had a lot better players than what we had under Frank. Got the right players and won the lot. My point is, regardless of the players, we should see what he's trying to be done. Okay, so why didn't we see what was trying to be done under Tudor? Why didn't we see what was trying to be done under Ange when we lost 22 league games in a season? Again, every argument you have, I can bring back to you had the different opinion on Ange for the same thing, right? So with the players that Ange had, why couldn't we see what he was doing? Just saying. Elliot Anderson for 100 to 120 million. That's why when people say to me, just go and get this player, that player, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. This is the levels, right? Let's be fair. Where's Elliot Anderson going to go? Is he going to go to Man City? Is he going to go to Man United? Or is he going to come to Tottenham Hotspur? And again, this is the exact same thing I think is going to happen with Adam Wharton. I'm going to predict this now. I think that whoever of those two doesn't get Anderson goes for Wharton. Right? That's what I believe. This is why. It's had it all the time. People go, just get Wharton, just get Wharton. I think Wharton will, like Anderson, because of the style of player they are, right, will go to those clubs. I think that the big boys are going to come in for Anderson and Wharton. They tick the boxes. Ball-playing midfielders, both brilliant at passing, both English for the homegrown quota. And that is why I don't think we're going to get either of those two players. So now you start looking around and going, right, we saw an identity. Yeah, we did. We got ripped open every week and conceded more goals than ever before. Right? So if that's what you want to see as an identity, then you deserve relegation. That's what I say. Sorry, I'll say it. Sorry, just because he threw bodies forward doesn't mean it's an identity. I just saw a team that was gung-ho. That's not an identity. Oh, well, he was superb when he came to Tottenham the other day. He was superb when he came to Tottenham the other day, was old Adam Wharton. So, listen, I don't think we're going to get those types of players for a reason. First of all, we're not going to drop 100 million. Second of all, you're not going to join Tottenham over Man United or Man City. We don't have that pull. Both those two look like they're going to be in Champions League. I mean, Man United, is it the top 5 that get Champions League? Man United have got a 7-point gap to Chelsea. So unless Man United have a nightmare and Chelsea win all their games, Man United are going to have Champions League football next season, Champions League revenue, more pulling power. Telling you. We should have done what Man United done last year. We should have gone all out and bought a brand new attack. We should have gone all out and done what they've done. Ugh, so frustrating. Absolutely, Gary. Yeah. This Matt has said he doesn't mind getting relegated as long as next season we play exciting football. You're right, Gary. That's what Matt has basically said. Yeah, I can't see it happening at all. I can't see it happening at all. Ben, I'd love him. I think he's a class act. I just can't see it happening. Listen, you can imagine if both City and United go in for Elliot Anderson, you would surely have the backup would be that fly's doing my head in. That one fly. Can you hang on? I'm gonna shut this door. I can't be dealing with this. 1 second. Okay, so comparing every manager with the worst manager we've ever had. freak win of that cup. Just gave the idiots fuel without this. Listen, look, it is what it was. You know, it was what it was. As we said, without winning that final by playing the football that Matt absolutely hates, which is 10 men behind the ball, without winning that final, Ange Postecoglou would have gone down as the worst manager in Spurs history. But it didn't. So, Savva, can you do a comparison site? Yeah, we could do some comparisons. Anything for Danny. Anything for Danny. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Adam Wharton and Anderson. Let's start with those two. Elliot Anderson. So Anderson's in the pink, I think. Anderson's in the pink. Right, let's bring this up. So here is their data MB for you. Read into this what you want, people. Let me put me up there. There we go. So there's Elliot Anderson is in the pink and Adam Wharton is in the blue. But again, you can see, look at their forward passes, look at their progressive passes, their key passes. These are two very good footballers. These are two very, very good footballers. Let's add in some of ours, shall we? Let's add in Archie Gray. Let's add in Archie Gray. Let's see what he's saying. Archie Gray. There you go. Levels, isn't it? Just levels. It's absolute levels from where we are. Look. Now, maybe Gray gets better. Look, these are the levels. I mean, let's take Gray out. So for anyone asking, so pink is Anderson, blue is Wharton, the green is Gray. Let's get rid of Gray and add in, let's add in Papa Sarr. Gosh. So Papa Sarr, again, you can see when it comes to key passes, progressive passes, forward passes, he hasn't got it, has he? Possession one and duels, he's good. But hey, each to their own. Let's add in Rodrigo Bentancur. Look at that. Look at the levels. Look at the levels of the players. Look at the levels of the players. There's always an excuse, though, Matt. There's always an excuse. Always an excuse. Just stop, mate. You're annoying me now. You're annoying me. It's just so... There's an excuse for everything. I'm sorry. Being around worse players doesn't mean suddenly that he can't pass or try key passes or forward pass. No, I'm sorry. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's have another look. Let's have a look. Let's chuck in my mate Locatelli. God, I love this boy. Manuel Locatelli is in the yellowy colour. Oh, look at Locatelli. Look at my boy Locatelli. That's my type of player. Locatelli. That is my type of player. This is my type of player right there. And absolutely, Darren, Adam Wharton plays next to Will Hughes. Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, okay, here's a question. Matt, who's got a better squad, Spurs or Palace? Spurs or Forest? So what? So you say we've got a better squad than both of those, right? Look at Locatelli, by the way. Look at Locatelli. That is absolutely ridiculous. Locatelli is superb. He is a superb footballer. Superb footballer. Let's remove Locatelli. People want to see Stiller. Angelo Stiller. This is all of them based on this season's form, by the way, guys. So Stiller is in the light blue. So Stiller is very similar to Anderson. Mate, do you know what? I'm going to just call it. Shut up, Matt. Shut up. No, you say that our squad is much better than Forest and Palace. Then you say that Gray's not got that data because he's around Dross. Now it's the chemistry. Make up your mind, mate. Make up your mind. You honestly, make up your mind. You're all over the place with your football opinions, mate. Me too. I'd sign Locatelli. I'd make him captain, sit him in front of that. Oh, he's a quality player. He's a quality player, is Locatelli. Let's have a look. Let's take out... yeah, Matt won't come on because he knows he won't be able to talk his way out of his lies. Matt, come on. Let's see you. Matt, you want to come on? Let's see you. Some excuse why he can't. Right, let's get rid of Stiller and let's go with Gomez. Yao Gomez of Wolves. Now, this is a guy playing for the team at the bottom of the table, right? So Yao Gomez is this red one here. Sorry, no, he's not. He's that one there. This color here. So, sorry, why is his so much better than Archie Gray's, Matt? Why is his so much better than Archie Gray's if he's playing for the worst team in the league? Let's remove him. I don't know if I can do Yao Neves. Sorry, I don't know if I can do Neves because he doesn't play. I can do Yao Neves. It's pointless. I don't know. I can't do Ruben Neves because this is for European, for the European leagues, I think. Who else should we put in there? Who else could go in there? Just so I just look at this is all I want to play like this so much. I want to play like this so much. Just so much. Really do. We could do Bergval if people want Bergval in there. Bergvals will probably be very good for carrying, I'm guessing. Yeah, there you go. Look at Bergval. I mean, look at the hype Bergval gets. Can anyone tell me what he actually does other than carry the ball? Can anyone tell? I'm going to ask it, all right? I'm going to ask it. Can anyone tell me what is it that Bergval does to get so much praise? I don't see it with the eyes. I don't see it with his stats are crap. His data's crap. I don't know what it is he does. Right? It's not about not wanting Archie Gray. I'm just saying he's not there yet. He's years off it for me. And I don't see him as the same type of player as a Wharton or an Anderson. I don't see him as that type of player. I don't know if we can do Hayden Hackney. Let me try. It doesn't just give you every year of their career. Can you show Locatelli at the same age as Bergval? Why? Why? Locatelli's always been a passing midfielder at whatever age, so that wouldn't make any sense. Sorry, do you suddenly think that this will all fill out as he gets older? Right? But this is the point. Before people go mad and start praising players, again, his passing is awful. Look at his passing. It is absolutely atrocious. He doesn't win duels. He doesn't win possession, right? What he does is he carries the ball. Right? He carries the ball. That's what he does. Curtis Jones of Liverpool. We can try that. Curtis Jones. To Curtis Jones. Look at Curtis Jones in the light blue. Look at Curtis Jones in the light blue. Right? Look at it. These players are levels above what we have. Now, you watch. If Spurs signed Curtis Jones, people would go mad. People would go mad. People would go mad if we signed Curtis Jones, but look at him. His forward passing and his forward passing percentage is phenomenal. Brilliant key passes and progressive passes and ball carrying. We can try McTominay. The McTominay is this one. So McTominay isn't the same as those players at all, is he, in terms of key passes, progressive passes? He's got a little bit of a mixture of everything without being great at anything. Just your kind of workhorse, really, box to box midfielder. But when we was linked with Jones, I saw so many people unhappy with it as well. I'd take Curtis Jones. Alex Garcia of Leverkusen, yeah, he'll be good. Alex Garcia, good footballer. Alex Garcia. See, these are the players I want. I don't want Archie Grays. I want people like this. Garcia, let's see, Alex Garcia of Leverkusen. So he's in the ready color. There you go. He's in the orangey color. Again, another one. Look at his passing. Look at his passing. See, this is the difference between footballers that naturally pass the ball and those that don't. Right? We talk a lot, right, about the team they're playing, but some players are naturally good passers of the ball. Some people grow up passing the ball. Bergval's not one of them. You can see a good pass every now and then is very different to this. People do this all the time. This is the difference. Look at these. Angelo Stiller we've had. Brilliant stats. Yao Gomez, brilliant. Locatelli, brilliant. Declan Rice people want. Declan Rice's will be very good as well. Declan Rice's will be very good. So Declan Rice is in green. Again, look at it. Again, look at Declan Rice. Right? This is the difference between players that do this naturally and those that we keep telling everybody that they will just naturally get these skills over time. But there's Declan Rice. People want Tonali. I should think Tonali's will be slightly different. Let's have a look. I might be wrong. Good player. So Tonali's in the purple. Yeah, so Tonali's not as much as a maestro ball player as them, but look, still very good as an all-round midfielder. Very good at everything, right? Possession one, duels, carrying. He's kind of got everything to his game there. But the levels is just different, right? Let's put in Paulinho. Well, obviously, we know what Paulinho's. Let's get rid of that. Put in Paulinho. You see with Paulinho again, look, yeah. So again, Paulinho's is what you would think it would be, right? Paulinho's stats lay heavily over to the possession one and the duels one, not the passing. So, you know, that's the difference. Pedri, we can do Pedri if people want Pedri. This is just for this season, by the way. Pedri, what a footballer this lad is. There's Pedri. Oh. Pedri. What a player Pedri is. Oh, now you're talking about different level of footballers here, right? Pedri. Oof. But again, you know, this is the levels, right? People want Modric. People want Modric. Okay, let's put Modric in. So we're basing these all against Wharton and Anderson, by the way, right? Modric. So there's Modric. Again, just class, right? Just class players. Let's have a look at people want Belieber in there. I think his will be very different, the type of player he is. So Belieber's in the yellow. So again, Belieber isn't the type of player, right? Belieber is more of your Paulinho. Right? Belieber, you can see here, he is more of your Paulinho. Look at the possession one and the duels is very similar. Let's put Paulinho in alongside him. See if I'm right. Let's put Paulinho in alongside him. So if you look at the yellow and purple, so yeah, look, if you look at these two, look, so you look at the duels, they're very similar other than the ball carrying, which I wouldn't expect Paulinho to be good at. So, you know, different types of players. Bruno Fernandes, people want in. I don't know if Bruno Fernandes. So Bruno Fernandes, look at Bruno Fernandes. Look how bloody good he is. Where's Matt? He doesn't rate him. Look at him. Look at Bruno Fernandes. Ball carrying, forward passes, key passes, progressive passes. Look at him. Oh, I know. It's just mad, isn't it? It's madness. This is the levels that Spurs don't have, and we belittle for other clubs. I know. I just don't rate Bruno Fernandes. I know he just scores loads, assists loads. His passing's brilliant. His progressive passes, his forward passes, his ball carrying, but he's not very good. Honestly. Let's have a look at everyone's asking for different people here. I love this game. Zubamendi. Zubamendi's will be good. Good player. Zubamendi. So Zubamendi's in the green. Again, just everything. Look at the forward passes, progressive passes, but he wins the duels as well. Got a bit of everything, hasn't he? So when you look at Zubamendi and Rice as a midfield too, I don't think I'll be able to go that far back for Conor Gallagher. I think you can only go to last season and this season. Josh Kimmich. People want to see Josh Kimmich. Levels, isn't it? When you look at the state of the midfielders Spurs have got. Josh Kimmich. Josh Kimmich is yellow. Oof. Oh. Matt, we all saw what you said the other day, right? You all said he's a stat merchant and doesn't do anything else. He's a bloody good footballer. Matt, mate, you waffle every day we see you. Yeah? Yeah. Enzo Fernandez. This could be an interesting one. Enzo Fernandez, because he's a different type of player, isn't he? He's not really Enzo. Oh, no. He's a Fernandez like that, isn't he? There you go. Enzo Fernandez. So he's the one in the reddy colour. Yeah, good player, isn't he? He's a good player. Look, but you see, right? You see the levels of these footballers. The levels of these footballers. Absolutely, Andy. We all saw what he said. He's a stat merchant, nothing else. When he's proved wrong, right? Anyway, you see the levels. Lamine Kamara, good player. I like Lamine Kamara. I'll do Manu Kone as well. Look at the level of these players. Oh. So Lamine Kamara is that blue there. Again, good player. Let's look at Manu Kone. Look at these levels of these players. Manu Kone's in yellow. Look at them. Look. Just look at them. Look at just look at just the levels. Just the levels of these footballers. Nicolo Barella. He's the light blue. Yeah, again, look. All right, not brilliant with his duels and his possession one, but as a ball-playing midfielder, there's not many better. Look at them. And I think until Spurs sign someone like this, we're going to struggle. And until we sign someone like this. Kefram Turam. Okay, let's have a look at Kefram Turam. We could do this all day. Could be here forever just doing this. I'd be here all day. Kefram Turam. Bless me. In the purple. Not as good with the key passes and the forward passes. In the forward pass percentage, but good with his progressive passes and his carrying. So, but look, James Maddison, yeah, I mean, James Maddison, different type of player to these boys, but we can definitely stick him in. It will be for last season, I'm guessing. There you go. James Maddison last season in the green. Again, look at the levels of James Maddison compared to the players we've got right now. There you go. There's James Maddison. Look at him. Quality player. Quality player. And this was saying, James Maddison's the best player at the football club for me for this very reason. Hang on 1 second. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, that's why I've always said James Maddison's the best player at this football club. Look at his passing. Look, even his duels. People say James Maddison's light. Look at his duels. He wins duels. Look at him. He wins duels. Brilliant ball carrying, brilliant forward passes and percentage and key passes and progressive passes. People want Kulusevski. We can do Kulu as well. Very different player to them, but sure, we can do that. So Kulu, look at that. That's a weird one, isn't it? Look at that. So his forward passes and key passes are good, and his carrying is good, but everything else is not. That's it. What a really weird outline that is. Really weird outline that is. But it's what I mean. This is the difference, right? And then when you go back and look at the options that we have, right? As I said, when you stick in an Archie Gray, now, yes, he's young. Yes, he'll get better, but when you stick like these, is just now. Hopefully, over the years that fills out. Hopefully, but his duels really poor. Possession one really poor. But hopefully, time will tell. Let's have a look at Gibbs White. People wanted. So Morgan Gibbs White is more of a ball carrier, isn't he? So yeah, so Gibbs White, good key passing, good forward passing, and brilliant ball carrying. He's not really your ball playing midfielder, though, is he? That's what Elliot Anderson does. But this is the problem, right? When you look at the level of these players compared to what Tottenham have got, we're miles off it. And people go, oh, the squad isn't that bad. When people tell me the squad isn't that bad, but it is, right? Look at the levels of these players. I don't know why it won't let me find John McGinn. I have no idea why it won't let me find John McGinn. At all. At all. But there we go, guys. Look, I mean, it's very, very interesting. I don't know. It won't find, let's see if it let me find Yuri Tielemans. I don't know why it won't let me find John McGinn. Yuri Tielemans. He'll have good passing. So Yuri Tielemans, yeah, look, Yuri Tielemans, really good passing. Look, really good player, Yuri Tielemans. But again, see, all of these clubs have got one. Let's have a look at James Garner of Everton. So James Garner, look at James Garner. Look at James Garner, everybody. Hey? We did Barella, Matt. We did Barella's. Look at, I'll tell you what, now tell me, who's shocked by that? Who's shocked at Garner? Look at Garner's ability. Look at his possession, duels, progress. Wow. Wow. That is... And this is the problem, Scott. If some of these players were mentioned for Spurs, they'd be told that you're absolutely right. I don't know if I can... I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed by James Garner there. Really, really impressed by James Garner. That is brilliant data. Wow. Honestly, look at all of that. Here you go. Let me remove these two. Let me remove these two and actually look. Wow. Let's put him in against Declan Rice, for example. So other than the ball carrying, look at that. That's Rice versus Garner. Wow. I mean, lately I've been watching him going, okay, he's improving. He looks good. But I didn't realize he was... Wow, there's one to keep an eye on. Let's look at Granit Xhaka. People want to see Granit Xhaka. So Granit Xhaka's in the purple. Again, yeah, Granit Xhaka's a good... Look, not as elaborate as some as the others, but look at the well-rounded midfielder. I don't know if I can do people like Winks. Oh, Harry Winks. This was Winks last season for Leicester. This was last season for Leicester. For Harry Winks. Let's have a look at Ollie Skip as well. There you go. There's Skip and Winks. I don't know why it wouldn't let me do. I don't know if John McGinn will come as a forward. I don't know why on earth have they got him as a forward. Why on earth would they see this data? Isn't the data I want to see for John McGinn? I want to see John McGinn data against the centre mids. He's a central midfielder. That's so weird. Any other positions people would? Oh, Tyler Morton. People central midfield. Tyler Morton. Okay, let's go back to central midfield. Tyler Morton. Tyler Morton. So yeah, a bit more of the ball carrying more than anything. Well, he looks a decent random midfielder. I'll tell you what, let's have a look. I want to see Archie Gray this year, Bergvall, Skip in his last season in the Premier League, and Winks. Make of that what you will. That is Skip and Winks in the yellow and the purple, Gray and Bergvall in the pink and the green. So this was this season versus last season. And that's the levels we're at, right? That's the levels we're at. Look at Harry Winks in his last year in the Premier League. Pissed all over the likes of Gray and Bergvall, right? Wow. And Skip and Winks are about to get Leicester relegated. Wow. What context would you like? Have you noticed if you say anything about Archie Gray, what context? Harry Winks played in a Leicester team that got relegated last year. Why was his passing superior to Archie Gray's? And this is what I mean. When people overrate players and go mad about what they can do, the data doesn't tell the same story that fans do, right? Ask yourself this. Watch the player. Can he do it? I'm not sure. Let me look at the data. Well, I'm definitely not sure. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Leicester obviously had a better squad and chemistry. This is what I mean. This is what, Matt, please come on. I would love to talk to you, and I would love, come on. If everyone's nice to you in the chat, please come on. I'd love to know why you've got an excuse for everything. I would love to know. Let's put Gray against some other midfielders in the Premier League. Let's put Gray against Potts. I don't know. Freddie Potts of West Ham. Freddie Potts of West Ham, who no one's talking about. His duels, his possession one, his progressive passing, forward passes. Look at that. I don't know. Just making that one. Just thinking of Dewsbury Hall. People want, come on, Matt. Let's see you. Come on. Come on. We can do goalkeepers in a minute. Quinny, I can't just go back years and years and years. It's not how the data works. It's not how the data works. People keep asking me that. Let's have a look at who did someone just ask me for? Someone just asked me for, Dewsbury Hall. Bit different because Dewsbury Hall's more of an attacking midfielder, but let's have a look. Dewsbury Hall. Yeah, more the carrying, the key passes. It's interesting though, isn't it? Yes, please. Interesting. Let's do Dewsbury Hall. Let's put in... Let's get rid of Potts. Let's put in, get rid of Gray. Oh no, Xavi Simons is definitely not going to come under central midfielders. Which other midfielders in and around us? Let's look at Andre of Wolves. He's an interesting boy, isn't he? Andre of Wolves. There you go. Look at Andre of Wolves. Look at the duels, possession one, forward passes. Let's see Matt's excuse for Andre playing at Wolves, who are bottom of the league, that have only won 3 games. Okay. Okay, so I can, okay, let's try that. Let's try it, Quinny. Let's use Elliot Anderson, for example. Let's see how far I can go back with Elliot Anderson or Wharton. I'll tell you what, let's do Wharton. So with Wharton, it will allow me to do the last 2 years. So there's the year before this year, and there's this year. So very, very, very similar, right? Very, very similar the last 2 years. And what is Adam Wharton? Adam Wharton. And Adam Wharton's 22. So at the age of 20, 21, 22, this is Adam Wharton. Right? That's Adam Wharton. I can't put in Hayden Hackney, people, that he's not in the Premier League. Right? So that's Adam Wharton. Okay. Now, if we put in Elliot Anderson for the last couple of years as well, that's this year. Hang on, let me get rid of Wharton. And then this is last year. Right. Let's have a look at, people want to see Alex Scott. I don't know if he'll come under central midfield. Let's have a look. I love this game. And obviously, this doesn't tell you everything, but it does give you a good insight into their stats. So this is Anton Stack. Very much ball carrying, possession one and duels, but key passes as well. But progressive passes, forward passes is not his game. But look, good data. He's got good data there for a midfielder. What's the excuse for him? He's at Leeds. Let's have a look at Alex Scott, shall we? Alex Scott. So Alex Scott, not so much with the progressive and the forward passes, but all round for his duels, possession one, carrying. And I guess this is what it's all about, right? It's about getting midfielders that complement each other. And that's what we've not got at all in this team. So when Sarr and Gray, at the moment, you think people have been praising Sarr and Gray. When Sarr and Gray play together, this is what we've got. So you look, when Sarr and Gray play together, there's absolutely nothing going forward. Look at it, nothing. Forward passes, key passes, progressive passes. There's nothing. Let me get rid of Scott. There we go. That's what our central midfield is. Now let's compare that to Forest's. Elliot Anderson and Sankare. So the yellow and the red. Forest. So look, it's difficult, right? Because for me, I think you've got to have the blend. You've got to have that blend, right? You've got to have someone who's good on the ball with a passing, somebody who wants to win the possession and the ball carrying and the duels. Spurs have not got that right for years. Not this year. For years, we have not got that right in midfield. Now, I would have loved to have seen what that looked like when we had Moussa Dembele and Victor Wanyama in there. Unfortunately, I won't be able to see that. But even Wolves, let's have a look. This is Wolves this year with their midfield too. So there's Andre and there's Gomez. Right. So other than the key passes, they've got a bit of everything. Key and progressive, probably why they don't score many goals. But other than that, look, they've got a bit of everything. When you look at Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. Fernandez. So Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo. Look at it. See, there's, can you see between them? They've got everything: carrying, possession one, duels, progressive, key passes, forward passes. See, that's how you put a midfield two together, isn't it? That's how you put a midfield together. We just never done it. We've never bothered. And this is what I keep saying. When people keep going, oh, we've had a good window, we've had this. We don't look at these sort of things. Look at Arsenal's. Look at Arsenal's midfield they put together, right? This is why they're top of the table. Declan Rice, Zubimendi. Look at that. We just don't do it. And that's why when people say, oh, we only need this, we need everything. We need ball playing midfielders. We need defensive midfielders. We need box to box. You've got to complement each other. Got to put a midfield together that works as a combination, as a pattern. Like let's go for a team that aren't great. Let's have a look at I'm not saying not great, not bad, but let's have a look at let's look at Palace with Wharton and Hughes. So other than the ball carrying, between the two, they've got it all sussed. Just the ball carrying, which they really haven't got, which, okay, would have been more Eze's job, wouldn't it? Would have been more a Sarr's job. But balance. Go and find a balanced midfield, two that complement each other. Now, if we look at the Premier League table, I'll tell you one player we didn't do at all was Rodri. Let's look at Rodri. I'm guessing it's going to be different from this year to last year. Let's have a look. So let's have a look at Rodri. I mean, this is Rodri. This is Rodri this season for Man City. Just mental, right? Like, this is the levels, these players. I don't know if I can get him. I don't know if I can get last year. Oh, he missed the season, didn't he? That's why he missed the season. Look, that's Rodri. And we can't get a Rodri. I get it. But look at that. When these top clubs have these players in midfield for them, and then you look at what we have. This is, by the way, my favourite player in world football, Rodri. This is why these teams control games, control midfields. Look at Arsenal's midfield. Look at this midfield. And you've got to buy the right players. It's all well and good saying so-and-so could be that in the future. But when Man City bought Rodri, they bought him for this job. Right? They bought him for this job. Nottingham Forest bought Elliot Anderson for this job. Oh. You think Nottingham Forest bought Elliot Anderson for that job. Palace bought Wharton for that job. Like, we just don't seem to do it. Let's have a look at goalkeepers, shall we? Let's have a look at some goalkeepers. I don't think I've ever done it with goalkeepers. Let's have a look at some of the data. So they're going by goalkeepers. Is this goalkeeper? Yeah. So they're going by insert errors one, save percentage. I don't know what that is. PS. What is that? PS. What is PSXGA? I don't know. Right, let's have a look. So here's Vic. Here's our leader. There's Vicario. There's Vicario. Let's put in Verbruggen. I reckon they're going to be very different. There's Verbruggen. Look how different they are as goalkeepers. Look how different they are. Thank you. What time are you going? What time? Oh, what, like after work time? Oh, okay. I'll be honest, I don't find the data as interesting with goalkeepers. I don't know why. It just doesn't do anything for me. Let's have a look at strikers. Let's have a look at strikers. Let's have a look at Dom Solanke. He hasn't played enough games. This is him last year. Let's have a look at Richarlison. This is Richarlison this year. Solanke in blue, Richarlison in pink. Solanke in blue, Richarlison in pink. Interesting. You can make whatever you want of this. Listen, I'm not saying this is the only way you look at players, but it is interesting when people say so-and-so such a good passer of the ball. Sure, you go and have a look at someone's data and they're actually really not, right? So, similar to data, similar. Let's look at Randall Kolo Muani. Oh, no, that's last year. I want this year for Muani. So Muani's in the green. Oh, gosh. Look at Muani. He is awful, isn't he? Look at Muani. Wow. Look at Muani. Should I put Harry Kane in? Great cup of tea. Should I put Harry Kane in? Let's get rid of that. Here we go. I don't want to do it. Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. In 2 years, we've gone from that to this. Oh, my gosh. Wow. I mean, look, we know what Kane's all about, right? We know what Kane's all about. Let's get rid of Kane. It's depressing. Let's get rid of, so this is our 3 strikers for the season. Let's have a look at, what about Jurgen Strand Larsen? He's not had a great year, has he? But let's have a look at him. Strand Larsen's in purple. His isn't great, is it? Look at this. His isn't great. Let's have a look. I want strikers that are down the bottom there. Let's have a look at Raul Jimenez. Raul Jimenez is in the yellow. Let's get rid of Strand Larsen. I'm looking at lower level strikers in the Premier League now. It seems low down. Who's down there? Let's look at Calvert-Lewin. Let's look at Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Let's get rid of Raul Jimenez, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's there. Yeah, okay. I mean, none of these strikers are great, are they? I'm going to chuck in, I don't know. Let's see what this guy looks like. Erling Haaland. Who's a striker in the Premier League? João Pedro could be a good one. So João Pedro's in the bigger green, yeah. Just levels, isn't it? I mean, it's just Igor Thiago people want in. All right, Igor Thiago. It's just levels. This is what I mean. When you look all over the pitch at our players versus others. So Igor Thiago's in the light blue. Look at the conversion, non-penalty goals. A bit more well-rounded. Just levels, isn't it? Gyökeres. This should be interesting. So Gyökeres is, oh God, there's too much pink going on there. Let's remove this pink. So we've got his pink. So Gyökeres is there. So conversion, non-penalty goals, touches in the box. And that, I mean, the world of strikers has died, hasn't it? Absolutely died. Oh, Voltemada. Voltemada's in the orange. It's just, look, guys, I'm not going to go forever. I could be here all day if I just did this. I could be here all day. But look, I think the central midfield passing area is the most interesting, right? The central midfield is the most interesting for me because it shows again how none of our players are ball playing midfielders. People can tell me that Gray is, he's not. People can tell me that Bentancur, he's not. None of ours are ball playing midfielders compared to these other clubs. And we've got to get one. We've got to get one. Hang on, I've gone back. Let's go back to centre mid. I wonder what Sander Berg. He's not the greatest passer of ball, but Sander Berg is someone that we should look at. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, just does a bit of everything, Sander Berg, doesn't he? Again, let's have a look at Bergval. It's so worrying when I look at Lucas Bergval. Just, I mean, whoever I put him against, the Bergval data is horrible. Who? You want to see how much who's dropped off this year? But the Bergval data, again, as I've said, when I say to people, tell me what he's good at, other than ball carrying, he's not, there's nothing there, is there? Look at it. There's nothing there at all. Okay, you want to look at Paulinho from last year to this year. He's injured a lot of last year, wasn't it? I don't know if they'll let us have him from last year. No, we won't get him from last year. He was injured. But yeah, it goes to show you guys, doesn't it? It goes to show you that what a lot of people think they're seeing versus what they're actually seeing is crazy, right? So, as I said, with Bergval, give it some time before everyone goes mad. And Bergval will say, again, he doesn't score, he doesn't assist, he doesn't create, his passing isn't good, he doesn't win duels, he's not good in the tackle. So what? And people don't like it. If you people don't like it. Yeah, right. Exactly, Ben. Exactly. People called him a deep professor. I don't know what that means. He doesn't do anything from deep. He carries the ball, but with no end product. So, don't know. Let's have a look at. Oh God, I'm back doing it again. And I'm back doing it again. 1 sec. Bless me. Let's have a look. Has that come up for you guys? Yeah. Let's have a look at. Let's have a look at Bentancur last year to Bentancur this year. That could be interesting. So that's Bentancur this year in the yellow. And that's Bentancur last year in the purple. So much more. But I would expect that. If he was playing in the Ange team, right? I would expect that. Let's have a look at, we'll look at Bergval last year. We can do Bergval last year versus this year. Sure. Hopefully it's better last year. Yeah, so Bergval's was better last year, for sure. But again, still the passing for me. The passing for me. Again, for me, more battling. I don't know what he is. Because if you look at that data, his forward passing, his progressive passes, and his key passes, again, not really very good, but his duels, possession one, and carrying was better last year. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does with him, right? It's going to be very interesting to see what De Zerbi does with him. At the moment, I'm not sure what he is. I'm not. I think that's my problem, is I don't know what he is. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Sure. Okay, Joe. So why is Elliot Anderson so good? Why is Elliot Anderson stats so good? They're like 1 point above us or something. Forest are 2 points above Spurs. Why is Elliot Anderson stats so good? Why is Yao Gomez stats so good at Wolves when he's in the bottom of the table. And that's the thing. When people like Joe say things like that, why? I brought up midfielders from teams below Spurs as well, didn't I? I'll tell you what would be interesting. Last one we'll look at. Let's have a look at who's the guy in midfield for West Ham? Is it Fernandez? Mateus Fernandez, West Ham. Right, that's decent. Why is his decent? He plays for West Ham. They're below us. Compare Bergfowl with Gallagher. Okay, let's do that. 1 second. So let's compare them this year. I don't think I'll get Conor Gallagher. He's not played enough in the Premier League this year to get him. It's not giving me Conor Gallagher data at all. I don't know why. They put him as I don't know why they would have him as a forward. He's not a forward. But I can only get Conor Gallagher forward data, but that's not what he is. So I don't understand this at all. Don't know why it won't let me give Conor Gallagher. Can't do it. He's not played enough for Spurs to get it. Essentially, yes. Essentially, our midfielders are, yes. Whatever we want to say, whatever people want to make this, essentially. See, but again, look, again, there's an excuse for everything. Couldn't it just be that Anderson's a really good midfielder? Couldn't it just be that Anderson's a really good midfielder? This is the problem. There's too much excuses. Look at, as I said, Garner's stats this year are the ones that have done it for me. So, yeah, Conor Gallagher's were brilliant, by the way. Maddison's were brilliant. Maddison's stats last year, for anyone that didn't see it, I'll just put it up again. James Maddison last year was phenomenal. Look at that. That's James Maddison. And that's the difference. That's the difference, right? James Maddison's quality, other than possession one. Look at that. Look, yeah. But by the way, this guy. Look if we look at James Garner, and this is James Garner this year for Everton. James Garner's in the pink. Look at James Garner. They are very, very impressive sets of data. Very, very impressive. Did we do Xavi? No, let's have a look. Xavi will come under, I'm guessing he will come under forwards. Let's have a look at Xavi Simons. So there's Xavi Simons. It's a slightly different data to the central midfielders. So you can see the dribbles are good, the assists, the key passes. Crosses, what do I expect? I mean, he's not really a wide player. Next year, I'd like to see that fill out a bit more. But, we did Rodriguez. Rodriguez is ridiculous. Rodriguez is ridiculous. Do Bergval and Rodriguez side by side? That's not fair. That's really, really not fair. I'll do it, but it's not fair. They're very different players. And Rodri is one of the best players in the world. Here's Rodri. Go away. Here's Rodri. Go away. There you go. Yeah, I mean, make of that what you will. I don't know why we would, But look. At the end of the day, I don't expect. I tell you what I want to see. I just want to see. I keep hearing how good Bergval is. I don't see it. Right? I need to see it. Then I hear he's a 6, he's an 8, he's a 10, he's this, he's that, he's a professor. But Anderson's quality. Anderson's a quality footballer. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Big up to David, who's put in a super chat right at the end there. Thank you very much. Said, Savva, hope you're well. Have we got some good players for the weekend game coming up from Spurs in Newquay? Well, big up to you. Newquay's a lovely part of the world. Well, we've got players back fit, David, haven't we? We've got players back fit. So that's the important thing for the weekend. We've got players back fit. So hopefully we can all get the win. And that's just data MB. That's just data MB. Everyone's got access to it. But look, I'm not using that for me to go, oh, he's better than him. I know in my head who's better than who. I just like to use it to show, right, what is your skill set, right? What is your skill set as a player? And that's what I said. When people say to me, but so-and-so's really good at that. Sure, go and have a look at it. And the data doesn't tell you that. So, look, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Much love. We'll be back tonight for the Champions League games. We've got 2 cracking games tonight. Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid in the Champions League quarterfinal. And PSG versus Liverpool in the other Champions League quarterfinal. Should be good. Might be joined by Perchy. Depends. But guys, girls, much love. Let me see if anyone is live that I can send you over to. Where are we? Here we go. Customization, redirect. Let's see if there's any Spurs channels live. I can't see anyone live. I can't see anyone live. Is that today? No, that's the 10th. I can't see anyone live. Let me just check YouTube on my phone. 1 second. It's always nice to redirect people and share the love. Do you want to be? Do you all want to go over and watch NASA? No, just kidding. I'm trying to find any football channels that are live. I'm struggling. I don't know. I tell you what, I've found a random football channel that's live called Football with Ends. There we go. Go over there, share some love with those boys. Football with Ends. There you go. Don't know who they are, but why not? There you go. Football with Ends. Get over there. See if you like them. Just say fhtv raid or Savva raid or whatever. Big up. Much love. Take care. And as always, come on. Oh, okay. Sorry, Ben. Okay, Ben. Ben's going live now. If I'll redirect to Ben. All right, Ben. I caught it just at the tail end there. Only if you bring some more chocolate at the next FHTV barbecue. Here we go. Where is he? Where is Ben K? Where is Ben K? Where's his... Is that today? Is it the 8th today? There we go. 8th at 2 p.m. Right, get over there. Go live now, Ben. Guys, show Ben some love. I want to see lots of liking, lots of subscribing going on. Much love. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs.